Good morning, everybody. Rob here in Bakersfield, California on the Sportster 72. And welcome to this week's Throwback Thursday. Today's story is going to be about the time that I almost had a shootout with the undercover stakeout team. Before I get into the story, I gotta give you a little background information to set the story up for you. I was working in the Eastern Division, and the beat that was to the west of me was mostly commercial. And we'd been getting an awful lot of late night commercial burglaries, and most of them had been either easy access through back doors where they would just jerk the doors off the hinges, or they were going up on the roof and cutting holes through the roof. And we weren't getting any evidence to speak of at any of these crime scenes. No fingerprints, not much anything. Occasionally there'd be a tool left behind, but no fingerprints on it because they were obviously wearing gloves. We'd occasionally find a boot print or something. And that was pretty much it. No witnesses. No suspect info, no vehicle info, not much anything. So, I was working graveyard, 46 John over in the Sierra Mesa area, right next to that beat that had all that commercial area that was getting burglaries every night on the weekends. And our sergeant had asked all of us, anytime you got any free time, to go over there and patrol through the area and see if you can, spot anything that looks out of the ordinary, because we were having a real bad time with these things. So I was over there, didn't have anything else to do, cruising around through the back of the commercial areas with my lights turned off, and, sneaking around trying to find the bad guys, when a silent alarm burglary call comes out over the radio, and it just happened to be for the business complex that I was in. This was a very big business complex, probably had about 10 or 12 buildings in it, and it was really hard to find the numbers for the buildings. So, and it was a silent alarm, so I wasn't exactly sure which building it was. So I get on the air and tell the dispatcher that I'm already there. I'm 1097, which means I'm on the scene. So I park the car and I get out and I'm looking around trying to find the damn business. And I got a cover unit coming from a ways away. I finally find the building that's supposed to be having the silent alarm going to it. So I go around and check the whole outside the building, peeking inside the building. Can't find nothing. It's all secure. Everything looks good, so I get on the radio, tell the dispatcher that, the building's secure, looks like it's code 4. Nobody here, parking lot's empty, and all that stuff. So, I'm walking back to my patrol car, gonna get ready to leave. And in the dead silence of the night, I hear voices. I hear two guys talking. Well, this is a little unusual for this area. So I get back on the radio and I tell the dispatcher, keep that cover unit coming because I hear people talking and I'm going to go check it out and try and find out where it's coming from. So I'm walking around this complex and getting closer and closer to the voices, honing in on the sound. And I finally find the building it's coming from, and up on the roof there's two guys up on the roof talking. So I get back on my radio and I tell the dispatcher, I got two guys up on the roof. I need that cover unit. And he's still coming. So I'm sitting there watching these guys. While I'm watching them, all of a sudden, inside the building, on the second floor, I see two more guys walking around with flashlights. Then on a closer look, I see they're also carrying shotguns. I get back on the radio. I tell the dispatcher, I got two more suspects inside with flashlights and shotguns. I need more cover units. And I'm getting a little bit, you know, antsy about this whole thing, because now it's, you know, 4 to 1. I still don't have a cover unit there. So I'm still sitting there hiding in the shadows. They don't know I'm there yet, thank God. The two guys up on the roof go back down in the building somehow. I don't know how they got in and out. And they meet up with the guys on the second floor. Well, then all 4 of them, you know, they're up there walking around with their flashlights and stuff. Finally, I not only get 1 cover unit, but I get 3 cover units show up. Because once I'd put the call out that I saw 2 guys with shotguns, everybody jumped on the call. They come running to my assistance. So there's now 4 of us and 4 of them. And one of the guys there is a SWAT officer, so he's, you know, kind of taken over because he has more training, and, you know, we're trying to figure out a plan of attack here and how to set up around the building so they don't escape and what to do and everything. Well, as we're sitting there planning all this crap out, the 4 guys come walking down to the bottom floor to the lobby. And wouldn't you know it, they come walking right out the door 20 feet away from us before we've had a chance to finish our plan and set up. So as they start coming to that door, we all split up, get about 20-30 feet between the 4 of us, and they're hiding behind anything we can find, trees, planters, whatever. I was laid down on a little grass embankment right in front of the door about 20 feet away. These guys come walking out that door. At the same time, all 4 of us turn our flashlights on and put them into their eyes. And of course, we're all drawn down on them too by now. Yell out, "Police, stop. Drop your weapons, put your hands up." Well, we caught these 4 guys by surprise. Pretty much scared the shit out of them. The 2 guys put their shotguns down. Everybody raises their hands up. And the one guy starts yelling, don't shoot, we're cops." Well, okay, this kind of caught us by surprise, because they're not dressed in uniform, and we don't recognize any of them. So we yell back at them that they'd better do what they're told if they don't want to get shot, because we don't know if they're cops or not. We're going to figure it out. Just do what you're told. So we order them down on their knees, hands behind their head, interlace their fingers. We go up. I kept my gun trained on them. The other guys went up, come up behind, handcuffed them. Once we had them all handcuffed and the scene secured, we got them up. We started checking IDs. And sure enough, all 4 of them were cops. We didn't recognize any of them. So we went ahead and unhandcuffed them. We started asking what the hell was going on, what are they doing there? And all we could get out of them is that they were from downtown Central Station and they were on special detail, and they couldn't give us any further information. And then, well, they're all pissed off because we took them down at gunpoint and handcuffed them and wouldn't believe that they were cops. We were pissed off at them because we came within a hair of having a shootout. Because if they hadn't done what they were told and hadn't put down the shotguns, or they'd have reached for their sidearms or something, we'd have opened fire. We didn't know if they were real cops or not. Had no way of knowing. Anyways, in the meantime, our sergeant had showed up at the crime scene to find out what the hell was going on. We tell him what the deal is, that they're all undercover cops. Well, then the sergeant, he's all bewildered because he doesn't know anything about any undercover operation being ran in his area. So he wants to know who's their supervisor, what department are they out of, what are they doing there in his area. Well, they wouldn't give him any information either. All they kept saying is, it's a need to know, and they're not allowed to talk about it. If you want to know anything more, you got to contact the supervisor. Well, our sergeant tells us go ahead and go back on patrol, and he stays there with those 4 guys and calls in their supervisor. Later on that morning, we find out that their supervisor showed up, and our sergeant and their sergeant got into a big pissing contest and argument. Our sergeant was pissed off because their sergeant wouldn't give them any information. He just said that it was a secret operation that he has only a need to know and he didn't need to know. And he wanted to find out anything more, he'd have to have the lieutenant contact downtown. And our sergeant was pissed off because we came so close to having a shootout with these idiots. You know. And then their sergeant was pissed off because we had put them down on the ground and handcuffed them and treated them like crooks. Well, a few days had passed. We thought everything was blown over and that was the end of it. But it wasn't. Because a couple days later, I get called into my lieutenant's office. I'll go in there and there's an internal affairs detective standing there with him. And he says he's got a few questions for me. And he says you have the right to have legal counsel present during the questioning. Well, now this sounds pretty damn serious. When you got an internal affairs detective telling you you got the right to legal counsel there when you're being questioned, it usually means they're going to try and hang you out to dry for something. Well, I know I hadn't done anything wrong, and I didn't need no damn lawyer. So I told him, well, I don't need a lawyer, I didn't do anything wrong, so go ahead and ask your questions. First thing he wanted to know is, what was I doing off my beat over there in the commercial area? And I told him, well, I was over there trying to catch the burglars. We had been told that we had free time, go over there and patrol the area and try and catch the burglars, so that's what I was doing. So then, his next thing was, well, what were you doing down at that building if the silent alarm was for another building, like 2 buildings away? And I said, well, I had checked out the building that the silent alarm came out on. It was all secure. There was nothing there. And I heard your 2 undercover guys talking. And I assumed that it might be the burglars down burglarizing another building that they got into easier. So I went down there to check it out. So then his next thing was, he wanted to know, okay, well, how come did you put them down on the ground and handcuff them after they had told you they were cops? I said, well, because I didn't recognize any of them, and neither did any of the guys that were with me. We had no way of knowing they were really cops or not, or if they were just lying. So we were just protecting ourselves, doing things the way we were trained to do. And then he goes, okay, well, that's all the questions I got for you now. Said, but we might get back to you and talk to you later. Because we just might write you up for being off your beat. And there goes another sports star. He'd be in like a 48, I think. And he didn't even wave. What a jerk off. So anyways, you know, I thought that was pretty much the end of it. I wasn't really worried about it. I thought it was just, you know, internal affairs being jerk off. And I knew nothing was going to happen because I didn't do anything wrong. I had a legitimate reason for being off my beat and being over there checking those buildings. And for everything I did. Well, that wasn't the end of it. And there'll be more to this story, but I think I'm going to hold that till next week's Throwback Thursday, because there's a whole nother incident that happened about 2 weeks afterwards. So I'm going to keep you here in a little bit of suspense little bit of a cliffhanger. I'll let you wonder. Bye-bye. See you later.